What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to do another challenge from Frontend Mentor IO. We'll do something, we'll just do like a simple HTML CSS design today. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're watching in the USA, it is Thanksgiving today. I just wanted to do a quick video before I go eat with my family here. So, again, I'm at Frontend Mentor IO. Just a place where you can do free challenges to practice your web development skills. I'm going to go to challenges here, and I'm going to sort by easier first, and I'm going to hide the ones I've already completed. And today, let's just do this one, the simple little QR code thing. Do this right here. This looks simple, and it is pretty simple. This is like actually one of the first ones you should do if you have, if you're like brand new. It's got one little challenging thing in it. This is pretty easy, but like the challenging thing is going to be figuring out how to do these background images, I guess. So that might be challenging, but other than that, if you don't know how to do that, I'll show you that skill. Everything else is pretty simple. It looks like a div, an image, and some text, right? And some border radius. So we can do this pretty fast. But even though this is really simple, guys, you'd be surprised at like how many companies would probably pay you for this because they have no idea how to code or make QR codes or do anything. And like the QR code thing is like really popular now because everybody has a smartphone and the camera can all cameras, Android and iPhone, can scan QR codes and go to web pages. So this is actually like super simple, but I could easily see you being able to charge like $500 easy for something like this for a company who's like, oh man, I need to make a QR code for a website. And you could just whip it up with just regular HTML and CSS in like an hour or less and make like $500. So you'd be surprised at how much people will pay for stuff that you think is really simple. So let's do this here. I'm going to start challenge. I will download the starter. I don't think I'm going to download the Figma file for this. Usually I do, but I don't. This is just so simple. I don't want to mess with that right now. So I got my starter code. I'm just going to X out of that. Go to my Finder, my downloads here, and it's this QR code zip file. So we're going to unzip it. And then here's all of the files that we need. So I'm just going to, whoops. I'll bring it out here to my desktop. And then I'll just call it QR code component. I'll get rid of main. Okay. And then I'm going to open my text editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code. And I'll drag my folder in here. And away we go. I'm going to get rid of this. Let's see. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. All these README things, these are just, this is just about Frontend Mentor and the challenges, and it's just stuff that we don't need. So let's just get rid of these files. We'll keep the design. We'll keep the images. We'll get rid of this favicon, though. We don't need that. And then I like to start with a fresh new file. It's just like a pet peeve of mine. I don't like their code. You can keep that original code if you want, but I'm just going to make a new boilerplate. Again, guys, I'm using Visual Studio Code, so I'm using all of the shortcuts from the Emmet, the built-in Emmet plugin for Visual Studio Code. So I hit Shift and exclamation mark and tab, and that gives me my code. And then the same thing goes for any other tags that I might be writing. If I want to do an H1, I'll just do H1 tab, and it'll give me an H1. If I want to do a div, I'll hit div tab. It'll give me a div. So I'm going to be writing my code like that for this tutorial, and that's how I'm doing it. If you're on Visual Studio Code, you probably already know this, but for anybody new, that's how I'm going to be writing my code super fast like that. I don't type everything out from scratch. So this is our style guide. Just gives us widths that this was designed for, which isn't really important, and then it gives us colors that are used in the design. I'm going to change these HSL colors to hex codes because I like to work with hex codes. I don't like HSL. It tells us that the font size for the paragraph is 15 pixels, so that's cool. So it just gives us basic fonts, and it gives us the font family from, this is going to be a Google font. So we'll go to Google Fonts, and we'll get the Outfit font family, and we'll get weight 400 and 700. So Really easy design. The bigger designs have like, the style guide will be super long, but we'll get into those projects a little later. For now, I'm still doing the beginner stuff for beginners, right? All right, so we'll call this QR component, and then we'll go live. All right, guys. So I opened up our web page. I came up on my other screen. I've got a multi-screen set up here, but I'll drag this over. This is our page. It says QR component up here, and I did that using the live server extension for Visual Studio Code. So you can click on the extensions button here, and just type in live server if you want to have this button down here to launch your page and update it live. Okay, it'll be right here, and it'll click install. And then every time I write code, guys, I'm saving by hitting Command S on my Mac keyboard, or you can do Control S, CTRL-S on PC to update. So like we'll say hello, Command S, save, or Control S on PC, and then you can say goodbye, and you can manually go up here to File and Save. That'll work too. Okay, see how it updates? All right, so get all those basics out of the way. Let's get started. So let's open up our little design picture here. See if I can open this in preview. There it is. So we'll just go side by side. So the first thing I want to do is, there we go. We'll look at it as we build. Let's get the Google font that we need, guys. So I'm going to go to that style guide again, and it says the font family of Outfit. So I'm going to type in Google Fonts, go to Google Fonts, and I have this, click on the shopping bag. That'll view all selected font families that you have. So I have these from the last project we built, so I'm going to remove them. So I'm going to click Remove All. So you do the same if you have any fonts laying around. Okay. And we need the Outfit font. There it is. And then we need the font weight. Let's see what we need again. We need 400 and 700 font weight. So go regular 400 and bold 700. And then our fonts are going to be here with the font weight. And then this is our link that we're going to paste into our HTML. So I copy that. And I'm going to put that below my last meta tag in the head of the document. I'm just going to paste it. And then while I'm here, I'm going to type link. And then I hit tab and I get the style sheet because we need to make a CSS file and link that. So let's do that here. I'm going to click the file button, new file button, and make a file called style.css. Hit enter. There it is. And then here in this href, I'm going to hit style.css, enter. There it is. And now we have our fonts, and then right below it our style sheet is linked. Let's grab this font family Outfit and put that in our CSS. So I'm going to use the asterisk, which means select all styles for the page. And I'm going to paste that font in there because that's going to be the only font we use on here. And then I'm going to do what's called a CSS reset on the page. So I'm going to get rid of all the default margin and padding that are added from web browsers like Chrome. If you don't know what that is, I have a whole video on CSS resets that you can go watch right now. But you got to do it pretty much every time you make a project from scratch. You got to do some kind of CSS reset. So we're going to say margin 0, padding 0, box sizing border box. Okay. And then let's make sure that our style sheet is connected and working properly. I'm going to make an H1 and call it test and save. There it is. So you can see our font is, the Outfit font is working because that's the Outfit font. And then it's sucked up to the corner here because there's no default margin or padding. So that means that our CSS reset worked. So cool. We know our style sheet's connected and our font is ready to go. Let's get our colors now. So we have white. We already know the hex code color for that is just FFF. I'm going to close this and I'm going to open a new window and say HSL to hex and use this website here. It's called htmlcolors.com. And I'm going to paste in these HSL codes and just get the hex code for them. Because I don't like using HSLs. I don't really understand them, so prefer to be old school and use hex codes. I suggest you do the same unless you want to learn HSLs. Hex codes are like the most common thing used still, so. Alright, we'll get the last one here. See, there's not many colors. This is like a really super small project, so this is not many colors, which is nice. But like I said, guys, it's a small project that looks like too easy, but many companies and people out there that don't know how to code or even build that will pay like decent money for that. Like, just realize that. Let's make all of our font size paragraph 15 pixels since we have that here. So let's go below our asterisk and let's say P. We want all of our paragraphs to have a font size of 15 pixels. And you're not going to see anything now because we have no paragraphs, but that's just for the future. Is that all of our colors? That's everything that we need for colors, so let's get out of that. And let's pull up our design, and the blue color is like the background for this thing, so is it light gray? I don't know. Let's try grayish blue first. Not sure which color it is. So we'll go up here and we'll select the body with the body tag. We'll say background color and we'll paste in that hex code. And I don't think it's that one. No. So it must be light gray. I guess it's gray. It looks blue to me. I don't know. I argue with my girlfriend all the time about the color of things. There we go. So maybe am I wrong, guys? Am I colorblind? So we got that going now. Now let's get building the design here. So we will say, I'll just call it a div, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, we'll make a div that's the container for the QR code. So I'm gonna have my div have a ID of QR container. So the shorthand for that in Visual Studio Code is the hashtag QR container. Just write it all out and then hit tab. And that gives us a div with the ID of QR container. And then within it, we're going to have another div for the QR code itself. And then just text underneath it. So we'll say, we'll put a div with the class of QR code this time. So say dot QR code. And it's like an image of one. So we'll say... And I'll just say, we'll say QR code image, I guess. And then we should have an image of the QR code in our images. There it is. So we will put that in there. Or, you know what, we're actually going to make that, I think, a background. So let's leave that blank because this is actually going to be a background image. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's just close this tag up. And then below it, we have the text of, this will be like an H2. So we'll say H2 says, improve your front end skills by building projects. And then below it says, scan the QR code to visit Frontend Mentor and take your coding skills to the next level. So that's a QR code for Frontend Mentor. That's kind of clever. Free advertising for them. So that's all the HTML that we're going to need for now. So let's see what that looks like. And there it is. So we've got all the raw content without the image and without the container. So let's go ahead and style this up with some CSS. So we're going to select our QR container. So it's got the ID of QR container. So I'm going to copy that ID name. And I'm going to say hashtag, paste the ID name. And this is not very big, so maybe a width of like 400 pixels or something like that. So I'll say width 400 pixels. Background color is going to just be white. And then there's a border radius. These curved corners are a border radius. And I'm going to say border radius like 20 pixels to start. Might be like 30. Let's see what that looks like. So let's compare the border radiuses. Yeah, it's actually kind of close. I think that's good enough, guys. What do you think? Maybe a little more? Maybe like 25. And it might have this too wide. No, actually maybe not. No, 400 pixels should be good. Let's just keep that for now. Then let's make this whole thing go in the center of our page because it's currently way over here. We don't want that. So I'll say margin. First we'll say margin top. We'll get it away from the top because we don't want it attached to the top. We'll say like 7 rem. And then we'll say margin left auto. Oops. And I'll say margin right auto. There we go. Use margin just to, the little trick to center things, guys. Make your left and right margins auto. I think that only works though if you have to have like a width on whatever you're building. So I have to put the width first. So we made the width 400 pixels, and then the margin auto will left and right will make that happen for you. Let's make it a height too. Let's give it a height of like 500 or 600 pixels. All right, so 600 pixels might be a little too tall. Let's try at 500. That looks more like the design. Yeah, let's stick with 500 for now. Yeah. And I might just make this a little smaller. Maybe like 350. There we go. I think that's good. So let's try this. I'm getting an idea in my head. Say image dot slash, go to my images folder, QR code. Oh, look at that. Those are built into the image. I thought we had to do these. I thought we would have to do these as like background images, but they're built into this whole image, luckily. So that makes our life a lot easier. Design just got even easier. So cool. For alt text, we'll say front end mentor QR code. All right, so that's a lot easier. Obviously, this image is like way too big. We got to fix that. So let's say QR code image. Select that class, and then we'll say in it we want the image itself, and we'll say width 300 pixels. There we go. Now it fits inside there. And then we'll say margin 0 auto. That didn't work. We need to center this now, guys. So let's try this. We'll select this, the container for the image, and we'll say text align center. There we go. Love those little tricks. Okay. All right. So doesn't have that much space on the sides or the top. The image. See how there's like space here. So we'll do that next. I'm actually gonna bring this to my other screen so I can just see it better. Oops. Yeah. I'm cheating, guys. I'm using it's a lot easier when I can just look at my other screen while I build this with you. So hopefully you guys have another screen you can look at it and then look at this at the same time. It makes your life 10 times easier. But we'll make this a little wider. Make this like 320 pixels. 310. There we go. And then we'll just say Say padding, 2 rem. There we go. And if we're going to do that, let's just make this, I wonder if we can just make the width 100% and then add padding. That's better. So what I just did there, guys, I said, make this as wide as you can, but then I want 2 rems of padding, all top and bottom, all the way around. So that's why there's space here now. And instead of 2 rem, let's say 1.5 rem, because I don't think it's that many. So rems, guys, yeah, that looks more like it. Actually, let's say like 1 rem. Yeah, that's it right there. So rems, guys, it's the same thing as pixels, but like 1 rem equals 16 pixels. So it's just like a shorter way of writing 16 pixels. It's just like a better way to add instead of saying like, sometimes I'll have a design where I use rems because like to space stuff out. If it's gonna be like 100 and something pixels, I can just be like 4 rem really quick, and then it'll give me what I want. So that's why I like to use rems, guys. I suggest you start using them. It's just an easier way. Just know that 1 rem, 16 pixels. That's all I have to know. So 3 rems would be 48 pixels, or 2 rems would be 32 pixels. Okay, just gotta do a little bit of math in your head. So you can see on the design that our QR code has border radius. So let's see if we can add border radius. And to achieve that, we might have to put it on. See, we have the image itself, but then we have the container of the image. And we'll probably have to put the border radius on the container because you can't really do that to the image itself. So let's say border radius 20. It's like the same amount as this. So what did we say? I think we have this one was like 25, but looking at this and the design side by side now, it's actually not that much. So let's say 20 pixels for that and 20 pixels for border radius. Didn't work. Try this. Oh, it does work on the image itself. That's weird. So yeah, I misspoke, but I don't remember everything, guys. Like I said, I always tell you guys, development is not about playing the memory game. You're gonna forget stuff. But this might actually be 25 though. Looking at the design, it might be more. Yeah, it is 25. Look at that. So here's what we have so far, guys. Okay. Pretty identical, pretty damn close. Our QR code might be too wide still, but I don't care. Whatever. Now we got to let's style this text. The text align to center on this. So what is that, an H2? Yeah, we'll just select it. We'll just say H2 text align center, and then it's got the bold font already. It's got padding on it. As you can see, like there's padding on the sides. So let's do that. Say padding 0, 1 rem. So 0 top and bottom, 1 rem left and right. Your front end. So it might be more than that. So let's say 1.3. There we go. So we did 1.3 rem left and right, so it pushed the text in like it looks in the design. Improve your front end is on top, and skills by building projects is now on the bottom, so that's cool. And then below it, we have our paragraph text, which is also text align center. And then it's a different color though. Let's go to our style guide. It's like a light gray. It's like that light gray color right here. I think it's this one. Or no, it's probably this one. And then this dark blue is probably for the H2. Even though I can't really tell too much of a difference, but yep, that's the correct color for that. Let's do padding 1 rem top and bottom, 1.3 rem left and right, just like the heading. And there's more padding left and right, so let's do the reason I say there's more left and right for the paragraph is because the text should stack like this, so then to the next level should be on a separate line. So I'll just add more padding. So let's say 1.5, 0.6, 2 rem. Wow, more 3 rem. There we go. Um, and there's more padding if we look at the design. So this is stacked up correctly now. So guys, on the design, we can see that there's like more space between this text and this. So I'm just going to add a little bit of height to the whole container here to just make it taller so that there's space there, just to make my life easy. So I'll go up to the QR container, which is our whole container, and I'm just going to make it from 500 pixels tall to 520 pixels tall. And that adds the space we need on the bottom, okay? So nothing too complicated there. And then this text for the H2 is supposed to be that dark blue. So even though it pretty much looks like black, I'll just make it that because that's what the design says. There, changed it a little bit. Barely can tell the difference. But that's pretty much it. That's it for the mobile design, or for the, not for the mobile, for the desktop design, right? So side by side looks pretty close. It's going to be like the same thing mobile, but we're going to have to tweak it a little bit so it fits mobile screens. But this is it, guys. Pretty. Again, you could easily charge a local business up to like $500 or whatever you can sell them on just to create something like this. Maybe like they want like a QR code thing on their web page, on a web page. You can be like, hey, I'll make it for you. You know, so you never know. But let's just make sure there's nothing weird with the mobile design. Yeah, it just looks the same on mobile. So let's see how this looks on mobile. So let's go to, let's first put media queries in here. So let's do a CSS comment. For that, I held Command and the question mark on my keyboard. That gives you a shortcut for comments, or CTRL question mark if you're on PC. It'll give you a shortcut to CSS comments. And I'm going to put media queries here so I know where they start. If I have to come back to this code, I explicitly know where my mobile styling starts. And then let's just type in CSS media queries into Google. And we'll grab and copy and paste the media query code that we need. So yes, guys, I actually don't remember off the top of my head how to write the media at media screen thing. I just don't. I just don't. I always copy paste it. So now we have a light green background because our media query, we have a min width of 480 pixels. So in other words, 480 pixels and above make our body light green. So I'm a max width guy. I don't like to use min width. So max width says at 480 pixels maximum, make it light green. So this is more than 480 pixels. So if we make it smaller, now it's light green. Okay, that's what max width means. It means only do that when it gets to this screen size or bigger. Okay, that's what max width means. Whoa. All right, so let's see how this looks on mobile. Let's get rid of this code first of all, because we know our media queries are working now because that light green happened. So I'm going to right click and hit inspect, and I'm going to click on this mobile device icon, and I'm going to go down. Now I can select what device I want to view this on. So let's view this on an iPhone 14 Pro, or no, let's do iPhone 12 Pro. And it still looks good because the width of the screen is 350 pixels, so it's going to look good by default on most mobile devices. But one thing I do want to fix is there's too much margin on top here for mobile. So let's select this and go down here. And I'm only going to want to change the margin top, so I'm going to delete all these other values because we just want to manipulate this one. And I'll just say margin top like 3 rem, so now it's closer to the top. Because usually on like a mobile site, you're not going to want to like have to scroll down to view it, right? You want it to be near the top. Let's actually just do 2 rem. And then the only problem that we're going to have to worry about is if the screen is, there are some phones out there that have a screen size width smaller than 350 pixels. So I think off the top of my head, it's like the S9 Plus Galaxy. It's got 320, so... And then I know that there's also a phone, the Fold phones, Galaxy Folds, are 280 pixels wide, so that just looks not right. So let's do another media query for smaller screen sizes. So let's just copy this, or just copy this part, I should say. and we'll say max width 320 pix. And then we'll just change the maximum width of the QR container itself to, well, for 320, we'll do 300 width. So let's go back to the the S9. I know there's more than this one, but there we go. So let's just refresh. So on the S9 now it looks okay. And then again, let's just get rid of everything else. Oh, the margin top. Let's see if we get rid of all this. The margin top should fix itself because we already fixed that above. So it's inheriting the margin top from here, guys, because remember, CSS cascading style sheets. CSS reads from the top down, so we changed the margin top here, and this is below it, so that's why it changed that by default. Now let's make a media for the 280 pixel phone, just so we make sure it works on all devices. And even though this is a really small project, guys, this is what you do for big projects too. Like you go to all the different screen sizes and manipulate stuff. So it's just like a mini little thing. This mini project has all the same stuff we're going to be doing no matter what the size of the project is. So that's cool. Let's go to the Galaxy Fold. And we just really want to change the width of this again to like, I don't know, 265. Because we don't want to make it too narrow. There we go. Now there's space on the sides and it looks okay. So yeah, I think that looks good. Should look good on all devices now, guys. So here it is. Make the screen bigger and smaller and it'll change accordingly. See how the margin kicks in and goes up, but right click inspect again. You can look at it on all the different devices. So sometimes it zooms in. See how it did that, guys? I just had to like zoom out. Sometimes the Chrome developer tools like zoom in on a design for some reason, but it looks good. You just got to make sure that it's not zooming in automatically to where it makes your design look like it's broken when it's not. But yeah. So there's a 353 pixel. So knowing that, let's do this, guys. I didn't know there's a 3. See, there's all these devices are just weird, but part of being a web developer is making sure that your stuff looks good on all these screen sizes. So let's just say we could make another media query for that. For this 354 random, like what a random screen size, man. But that's the problem. There's so many phones on the market now, guys, that it's getting more and more difficult to develop for all. You know what we could do, guys, for the width is we could just give it a percentage. That's probably what we should do instead of all these pixels. So check this out, guys. Let's be smart here. Let's code smarter, not harder. Let's say width 90%. That way it'll be 90% on all screen sizes. Ah, see? Cool. Now it fits everything. We don't got to do all those media queries. There you go. Width for the win, dude. Look at all phone sizes now. I don't know why. See, I don't think. Sometimes it's hard for me to think when I have to talk and do all this, guys. Like if I was honestly just building this by myself, I would have probably done that off the bat. But still learning how to multitask while I make these videos and whatever. But there we go. Maybe we can do like 95%. Maybe like 93. There we go. I think 93 is probably better because I don't want it to be super narrow, but I want it to fill most of the screen. So this is it on an iPad. It's just like a desktop, so that doesn't really matter. But iPhone 5, so it works on all devices now, guys. Go landscape if you want. But yeah, that's it. Really simple project. Just had to change the width with a percentage. I wasted all your time with all that mumbling. All that mumbo jumbo. But yep, that's gonna be it for this one. Let's do one final side by side, I guess. Where is it? Oh, is this the mobile one? Oh no, this is desktop. But yeah, let's go back to desktop. Pretty cool, man. All right, guys, thank you for watching this little quick project. Again, have a really happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.